Good morning. My name is Bria Robinson and I'm with Spencer Shi. Today we are discussing MyMomentum. This is the third part in the webinar series. Check out our website if you've missed the last two. So let's start out by recapping the previous webinars. So what is MyMomentum? MyMomentum replaces manual processes and uses intuitive navigation to organize programs by bringing visibility to management and driving accountability across the company. It's a simple-to-use, cloud-based mobile app that automates EHS programs by leveraging your existing headcount to implement industry best practices. All safety requirements and documentation are going to be organized and stored in a single location and available on any device. So how can MyMomentum help you? So it allows management to track metrics and see commitment to safety in action. It reduces injuries, incidents, and workers' compensation claims and drives safety culture. It decreases the likelihood of EPA and OSHA fines. It ensures required trainings, inspections, and deadlines are not overlooked. It empowers employees to take responsibility and drives accountability. And it allows your EHS team to spend less time reacting and more time being proactive. So how can MyMomentum help you stay compliant? Your records are always available in a secure location, such as safety data sheets, training material, regulatory permits, customer requirements, and internal communications. You'll receive automatic updates and weekly reminders for incident alerts, issues management, user assignments, tool usage, overdue items, and upcoming items. So in the part two webinar, we discussed the functions of MyMomentum, and this included the dashboard, inspections, action items and issues, the library, and safety observations. And these functions are available to any user, whether you're an admin or not. So this week, we'll discuss the admin tools. And this includes company information, sites and regions, reports, employees, job types, and users. And these 6 features are only available to those with admin access. So this would be your EHS manager or someone who's in charge of ensuring the program is updated and used properly. So first, let's discuss company information. So on the company information tab, the first thing you see is safety program performance metrics. So this is where you put your current employee hours needed to calculate injury rate, also data from previous years to display trends on the company dashboard. So you have your TRIR, your EMR, your lost work days, and your OSHA log data all available under your safety program performance metrics. So here's the image of the dashboard, and you can see how the TRIR and the EMR data populate onto your front page. Here at the top, you can see the TRIR for 2019, the trailing 12 months, and your EMR. So this is what it looks like when you are inputting the TRIR data into the safety program performance metrics. And this is what the EMR would look like. And the experience modification rate is a primary metric used for insurance companies to determine the risk of insuring your company. So this is a very important metric to be aware of. You can log your lost work days and your OSHA log data. And what's great about this is that you can generate your OSHA 300A report from MyMomentum. The next on the company information page is company details. In company details, you input information such as your company name, your corporate address, second address if you have a PO box, and your NAICS code. Also, your SIC code, your industry, and you can upload a logo file. So now let's talk about sites and regions. On this page, you can see that there are 2 sites, and it is important to differentiate between sites under your company for that OSHA 300A. From on this page, you can see the number of employees per site, number of open issues, injuries in the last 12 months, restricted days in the last 12 months, lost work days in the last 12 months, and days since the last injury. On top of sites, you can also have regions. Say you have companies in different states with different regulations. You can differentiate between your sites in Alabama and your sites in Arkansas and see the overall data for that region. Now let's discuss reports. So in MyMomentum, as an admin, you can generate reports to analyze how your program is functioning. So you have the active safety management report by site. You can review and print your OSHA 300 and 300A information. You can export data for custom management reports. And you can look at injury trends reports. So active safety management reports by site shows you open action items, inspections, injury reports, incident reports, and best practice observations. And you can change the date range on this from 30 days to 90 days or trailing 12 months. On this page, you can review and print your OSHA injury logs by clicking Download OSHA 300 forms. OSHA requires that most companies report the injuries by establishment, which is typically the physical address of each facility. On the Sites tab, you can select whether or not each site should be considered an establishment for OSHA log purposes. You can add the total number of hours worked for the 300A file and add the average number of employees for each site. This will also be reflected on your 300A. Also in the company information tab, you can add a roll-up of all hours worked and the average number of employees. This data is also required on the 300A form. You can verify your OSHA required data for electronic filing. You can e-file using a CSV file. From MyMomentum, you can download the CSV file and import it into the OSHA site. And you can view your injury log. If you require any assistance with your OSHA 300 reporting, our team at Spencer-E would be happy to help. So this is what a data export for custom management would look like. You have several data sets to pull from. The first being injuries, property damage and incidents, regulatory incidents, vehicle incidents, and environmental incidents. On the Injury Trends Report tab, you get an overview of your injury data. You can customize the date range and determine what needs to be addressed. So let's just take a look at some of the reports that are available on this page. So here we have an overview of the 5 most common injuries. You can look at total injuries by region or total injuries by site. You can look at injuries by job type. And you can look at the total injuries. So now let's discuss the employees feature of the program. So in MyMomentum, you can import your employee list, their name, you can assign ID numbers, you can assign job types, and with these job types, there's associated training and job hazard assessments that are all available within the program. You can change the status of employees to active or inactive, and you can assign them to a specific site. Also, you can assign them a supervisor within the program. So now let's discuss job types. In MyMomentum, you can set up different job types depending on your facility. In these job types, you can assign required training and set up a job hazard assessment. Now let's discuss users of the program. So a Spencer She MyMomentum expert will set up your initial users, which would likely be your admin. And on this site, the admin can send invitations to other employees to be users and either give them admin access or not, depending on their role. And from this, the user is sent an email and prompted to create a login so they can access the system. However, only people who are granted admin access have this ability and have access to the features we have discussed today. So how do you sign up for MyMomentum? Our subscription plans are cost-effective with a tiered pricing structure and based on the quantity of employees at your facility. You can sign up for MyMomentum on a month-to-month basis with no long-term commitment. Once you decide to sign up, a Spencer She MyMomentum expert will help you seamlessly onboard your safety, health, and environmental programs to your customizable database. We'll also be here to support you throughout your use of the software. Next in the MyMomentum webinar series, we'll discuss program management features such as the compliance calendar, your equipment and fleet management, a meeting tracker, permitting, target dates, and training. So tune in May 12th for this. Thanks for joining us today, and if you have any questions about MyMomentum or this presentation, please contact me. My information is noted on the slides. Thank you.